Have you
So
ever yourself read all the way through from Genesis to Revelation, like on your own without reading anybody else's commentary on it?
have I read Revelation?
No, Genesis all the way through to Revelation, the whole Bible on
Oh
its
yes,
own.
we've studied it. That's
No,
what
no,
we
no,
do
no.
on our Thursday meetings.
No, 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 no. I don't mean at meetings. I mean for yourself. Just sit down and read.
Yeah, we have our own. Then we assign ourselves Bible study on our own.
I found this wording interesting. Like reading the Bible every day is a work assignment and not a joy and a help. Now, I do understand that getting into reading the Bible every day on your own is a discipline, especially when you first start doing it. But it still sounds like a work for her to be proud of when she talks about it. Maybe I'm just reading that into her words. I don't know. But honestly, I do seriously doubt that she has ever read through the entire Bible from beginning to end on its own. In fact, we know that the Watchtower discourages its followers from doing that because they know that if you read the Bible too much in its own context, you might revert to evil Christendom and various horrific Christian traditions. Interesting, isn't it? Having talked with a number of both Jehovah's Witnesses and ex-JWs over the years, I understand that they do spend significant time in certain isolated passages and even read through maybe a chapter or so during their midweek meetings. But that is not the same as reading through the whole Bible on its own. For those of you here who are ex-JWs, do you ever remember reading through even one whole book of the Bible on its own, like, say, maybe Galatians or Ephesians? I'm not suggesting that never happens. It's just not something JWs are encouraged to do. And with all the activities Watchtower has the rank and file doing, I'm sure it would seem like something that they really just don't ever have time for anyway. Yeah, and I don't even mean so much sitting down and choosing passages to study, but to actually just read through the whole Bible. Like, if you read 3 chapters a day, you can get through the whole Bible in a year.
Oh yeah, that's what we do.
So you've read the entire thing all the way from beginning to end without anything
Several
else.
times, yeah. Not. You see, the thing about the Bible, it's like a jigsaw puzzle.
How would you say? Why would you think that?
Pardon me?
Sorry, why would you think that?
Oh, why would I think that?
Yeah.
Well, because when you read one section of the Bible, you can refer to another section of the Bible to just that reinforces that thought.
But how do you know
you've clarifies that thought?
How do you know that you've got the right sections? Like if you read it all in its own context, right from beginning to end, it's very clear about its own context, right? So yes, you can look at.
Well, then okay. Can I ask you when you read the Gospels?
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you when you read the Gospels, how can you get out of the Gospels the fact that Jesus and God are equal?
Because he says so. I mean, that's the thing. You're looking at, if you want to pick one verse.
I'm asking the question back to you.
Yeah, and I'm trying to answer. If you read
you understand each section by itself, okay?
Yeah, all together.
Read when you read the Gospels. How can you get without comparing scriptures that is what is accurate, what you believe that Jesus and God are equal.
Yeah, and so I guess that we'd have to look at what you mean by Jesus and God being equal.
Well, have the same authority, have the same.
That Jesus and the Father are equal.
Are equal in status.
Right. Yes.
When pretty well every gospel says that Jesus is saying that the Father is greater than I am.
And yeah, right, exactly.
I do not do a thing unless my Father tells me.
Right, exactly, because Jesus lowered himself for a little while to become even lower than the angels, to take on flesh, to walk the earth as a human.
Then you haven't read Paul's statement saying that Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and
Right.
tomorrow.
He's still Jesus, but he took on flesh. That didn't change who he is.
No.
He's still the same.
No, that
But
means that
what about
on
Thomas?
flesh, but he didn't have a mother. He didn't have a father, pardon me. So he was just transported into Mary's womb, but he didn't have a father to create an individual. It was God himself God the Father who put
God the Son
Jesus in Mary's womb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So God the Father created Jesus. So
I didn't bother catching her on that one, but she just slipped in a Watchtower claim that the Bible does not say anywhere. I found her use of the word transported a little comical too. Like he got beamed into her womb or something.
you could compare the genetic
yeah, he had Mary's DNA
to Jesus,
mm-hmm.
then was transferred from Jesus into Mary's womb. So God's makeup that was in Jesus was the same in heaven as it was when he was on earth, because he didn't get anything from his father.
You don't even believe that.
From his stepfather, he got it from God.
You don't even believe that, because you believe that Jesus was Michael the Archangel before he was transplanted into Mary.
Well, that's
so that's a change.
What's that got to do with comparing Jesus and God?
Well, exactly nothing, because Jesus wasn't
just the
Michael.
Name. We're talking about the makeup.
You're talking about him being an angel and then ceasing to exist and being made into a man from Jehovah's memory, or a baby boy, and then ceasing to exist again and then being transformed back into Michael. That seems like an awful lot of changes there. Like changes of
just
being.
Names.
No, it's not names, that's being.
In the Bible, individuals had several names, usually had two names.
That's nothing to do with the names. I'm talking about the ontology. You're talking about angels.
Jesus is a name and Michael is a name. There's people here on earth in Mexico who are named Jesus.
But that's not what we're not talking about names. We're talking about angel versus human. That's two different ontologies. That's like saying a cat becoming a dog and then becoming a cat.
Jesus couldn't be an angel here on earth. He had to become an individual, and that's why when angels presented themselves to different individuals in the Hebrew scriptures, they took on the form of man. Because
right. So why couldn't he just have done that if that's all it was? If they were just
Jesus couldn't do it. It was Jehovah's power that would do it. When angels came down to give messages, they became human so that people could see them.
Did they though? Did they actually transform into humans?
So the same thing was happening with Jesus.
Did they transform into humans, or did they just become visible?
Well, they became visible. And it's just like after Jesus died, he took on human forms, so that then he could converse with his apostles.
But you understand that's the Watchtower's teaching. That's not. It doesn't say that in the Bible anywhere. That's what they say.
But doesn't it say that he took on human form after he died?
No, it doesn't ever.
To the apostles?
No, it never says he took on human form. It says that he resurrected, which is always a rising up of the body.
No, it didn't say he was resurrected. Because if you read the scriptures, he appeared to them, but they didn't recognize him.
Yeah, because he veiled their eyes.
Certain things that he did that directed. It's the way he broke the bread that they recognized that it was Jesus, and he took human form. He was still angelic because he entered a room that was locked.
Yes, he had the power to walk on water, to raise the dead, and you don't think that he could appear in a room?
Walking on water because he was still an individual. That's not arguing a point whether he was invisible.
It's a miraculous work.
He was a spirit.
It's the miraculous work of Jesus.
It's got nothing to do with that. You're muddying up the water.
That's
with this
not muddying. That's just looking at.
subjects altogether.
This is why I was asking you if you've read the Bible straight through, because if you did, you would see that, like, it's right there.
When he walked, what is it? Peter. It was Peter. Peter, the impetuous one. He said when he saw Jesus walking on the water, he started to walk on the water.
Right, because Jesus gave him that ability.
The storm, and he lost faith. So Jesus grabbed his hand and said, well, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" So if he would have had faith in Jesus, that Jesus' power could keep him up, then he would have walked on the water. And he was a human. He started walking on the water. You see, so
right? Because
that's a totally different
Jesus
subject.
told him. Well, no, but it just seems funny to me. Something as simple for Jesus as just appearing in a room that one confounds you, but.
But if he was human, how could he get into a room that was locked?
If he was human, how could he calm the storm?
Because Jehovah gave him the power. Jehovah resurrected him, or he gave him the power to resurrect Jairus' daughter.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, I don't think we've talked, and we should kind of wrap this up soon because it is getting late. But sorry, I'm just letting my cat in here. When Thomas said, "My Lord and my God," literally, the Lord of me and the God of me, what do you think he meant? Like, how was that not something that Jesus should have?
You see, you're putting you're putting in your semicolons and periods in there.
There's none.
But the Hebrew Scriptures does not have
Greek.
Periods and commas and those things.
I'm talking about Thomas.
Yeah.
When he appeared to Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So in the Greek Scriptures. So, and you can look it up in your Kingdom Interlinear. Literally, Thomas said to Jesus, "My Lord and my God."
Yeah,
so that's not a grammar.
Because it was Jehovah who's making all this possible. So the Lord is Jesus, but God is God, right?
So, but he said to Jesus, "My Lord and my God." You see what I'm saying? Like that's very clear.
It doesn't necessarily mean that they're referring to the same person.
How would it not? How could you insert that he's not? What else would he be saying?
Because he's giving gratitude to Jesus and to Jehovah in that sentence.
So he's saying "my God" to Jesus, and that's giving glory to Jehovah?
Yeah, he's not saying that referring to Jesus, no.
But how? Like, that's what it says. Like, can you not?
It's the way you read it, dear.
No, that's what it says. Like, that's really plain in the Greek. There's no question there. I mean, I've heard people say, "Oh, well, he was just making an exclamation, my God," but that would be swearing, right? That would be blasphemy.
It's like saying, if you're thanking somebody, you're thanking Elizabeth and Joan.
Can you share an example?
Can you share? Two people did, and it was. And that's who he was thanking. He was thanking two people.
How? Like he wasn't thanking anyone. There was no thanks being said there.
That Jesus was alive. Mm-hmm.
He was so he's like, "It's you." That's the proclamation.
But it wasn't who made Jesus alive. Well, it was God's power. It was God's power, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, and Jesus actually said he was going to raise himself.
And there was two people involved. He was glad that Jesus was there, and
yeah, actually, it's pretty neat. Yeah, so yeah, Jesus and the Holy Spirit and the Father all raised Jesus. Yeah, according to Scripture, anyway. Yeah, that's a pretty neat thing. But you know what? I'm gonna maybe suggest that we
Yeah, I was just phoning to see how you were.
Yeah, exactly. We kind of got off into it.
And it was nice talking to you.
Yes, you too. Thank you for calling and checking in on me. I really appreciate it.
You take care.
That's really nice. You take care too. We'll talk again soon, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Bye.